In a previous lesson, we have discussed angles, acute angles, and the ratio that we call SOHCAHTOA. And just as a reminder, if we let angle B be theta or angle A be theta, and we're looking to solve what the value of sine, cosine, and tangent are, we use the acronym SOHCAHTOA, which is just a way to remember the relationship between the three trig functions of the angle theta and the three sides of the triangle. Now, for any triangle, no matter where theta is located, the hypotenuse is C. And if you notice, angle C, side C are opposite of each other. And that's how we're going to keep all of this straight, is keep these opposite of each other. Now, so that means that side B is opposite angle B, and side A is opposite angle A. If we know the value, say, of sine B, and the side opposite of sine B is B, and then over the hypotenuse, then if we know that value, we can find the value of angle B by inversing the sine on both sides. And that would give us the angle value. So let's use this right now to help us to solve a problem. Now I have this triangle ready for you. If you notice, the same letters are opposite. C is always the right angle and always the hypotenuse. So, and theta is never angle C. So angle A is 36.2 degrees. Well, if we know that angle C is 90, and we do because it's a right triangle, and the right triangle has 180 degrees, then that means angle A plus angle B is also equal to 90, and all we have to do is subtract, and that will give us 90 minus 36.2, which gives us 53.8 degrees. Now, in question are the sides, and since we know the hypotenuse, then we can use either sine or cosine to help us solve for the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the angle that I knew in the first place, angle A, just in case I didn't subtract correctly. And I have angle A right here. I'm going to pick which trig function I'm going to use in just a minute. So angle A is 36.2 degrees, and I need to find side A. I know the hypotenuse is 68. Well, angle A and side A are opposite of each other, and opposite and hypotenuse means I'm going to use the sine function. And all I have to do now is multiply both sides by 68. Put this all into my calculator, and that will give me the value for side A, and it turns out that side A is 40.2 degrees, or it's not degrees, is the length of 40.2. So I'm going to fill this in right here. Now the last side that I need to find is side B, and I can go back to our old friend, the Pythagorean theorem, and do that and solve for B. Or I can go to SOHCAHTOA and switch to cosine, 36.2, and then multiply both sides by 68. And then, once I do that, my side B is 54.9. So once I have all my sides and all my angles, then my triangle is solved. And we're going to go and do a word problem now. Okay, so this is a picture of my tree in my yard, and that little blob at the top is my cat. I don't really have a cat, but my cat is stuck up a tree, and I'm standing right here with a tear coming out of my eye because my cat is stuck up the tree. Now, my question is, from the cat's perspective, what is the angle of depression to me? So how far down does the cat have to look to get to me? This is a problem that we struggle with sometimes, but what you want to do is look straight from the cat's perspective, straight from the cat's line of sight, straight out, and then make the angle looking down to where I am. This is the angle of depression, but it turns out it's also the same as the angle of elevation, and it makes a right triangle like this. Well, my tree is 6.25 meters long. I'm standing 10.1 meters away from the tree, and I want to find, I won't be able to tell my cat how far down to look to see me. Now, I don't know the hypotenuse. I don't need to know the hypotenuse. What I need to know is what that angle is, and I'm using opposite and adjacent. Now, if I point directly from my angle straight out, that gives me opposite. The one right next to it, that's adjacent. Opposite and adjacent gives me tangent. So I'm going to have tangent of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. And then when I do the tangent inverse into my calculator, I'll say theta equals tangent inverse of 6.25 over 10.1, and then that will give me 31.7 degrees.